Okay, so Ramesh, do you have any doubts from the direct proportions part? Today we are going to start with the inverse proportions.
I have no doubts.
No doubts? Okay.
Yeah.
So we shall move ahead with the inverse proportion. So what does inverse proportion mean? What does inverse proportion mean? Anybody?
When one value increases, the other decreases, or when one value decreases, the other increases.
Yeah, exactly. So when I have two values, x and y, so the change in x and y is inverse. That means on increasing x, y should decrease, or on decreasing x, y should increase. Right. Now let's suppose again in the inverse proportion questions, I'll be taking two types of values. I'll have one value as x and the other value as y. Now I'm going to again assign the values as x1, x2, and y1 and y2. But the main difference lies is, see, there is an inverse proportion. That means, so x1 upon y1 will be equal to y2 upon x2. Okay. Do you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Or I can also say like previously, see, x when it is directly proportional to y. So what we have, what was the formula?
X1 is equal to y1. Oh, x1 by y.
x1 by y1 equals to x1 x2 by y2.
Yeah. So now I have the reverse. Okay. I'll give you one question, then only you'll be able to practice. See, let's suppose you can also say like for x inversely proportional to y, you can say x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. You can also say like this, x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. If you use this formula, it will be easier for you to calculate. Please remember these two formulas. Kamar has also joined. Amar, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please put on your camera. Okay, so in this class, Amar, we are starting with inverse proportions. So in inverse proportion, what happens? See, in direct proportion, what was happening? That you had two values, x and y, and on increasing one value, the other value also had the same effect only. Like whatever change you make in the first value, the other value will also have the same change. For example, you're increasing the first value, the second value also increasing. You're decreasing the first value, your second value is also decreasing. But in inverse relations, what happens? If you increase the first value, your second value will decrease, right? But if you are decreasing the first value, the other value will increase. So there is always an opposite relation that is going on for inverse proportions. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now what we have, see, previously our formula was basically x1 upon y1 is equal to x2 upon y2. But here we reverse the formula. We say x1 upon, wait, this is wrong. x1 upon y2. x1 upon, see, here it was x1 upon y1. So here it is x1 upon y2. And then you have x2 upon y1. Okay. This is the
Okay, ma'am.
formula for inverse proportion. So remember this. This is for direct proportion. This is for inverse proportion, right?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can also just cross multiply this. See, when you cross multiply these formulas, what you get? Over here, you're getting x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. And when you cross multiply this, you get x1 y2 is equal to x2 y1. Okay. So please learn these kind of formulas also. These formulas are for direct proportion. These are for inverse proportion.
Mm.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll give you one practice question. So 6 pipes are required to fill a tank in 1 hour 20 minutes. How long will it take if only 5 pipes of the same type are to be used? Now, first you analyze this problem. Okay, see, because in the exam, you don't have a distinction that this question is from direct and this is from indirect. You'll just be given the question and you'll have to analyze yourself that is this direct proportion or inverse proportion. So first you make an analysis. So how can we do that? First of all, you consider two values. Do the same things as direct proportions only. Okay, you write 6 pipes. Okay, so I'm considering number of pipes is x. Okay, and time required is y. Okay, so first of all we have number of pipes. I'm saying it as x. This is y. So when number of pipes is 6, what is the time that is required? 1 hour and 20 minutes.
1 hour 20
Just
minutes.
convert it into one value only. Convert it into minutes. You have
80
80
minutes.
minutes.
80 minutes.
You have 80 minutes. So when there are 6 pipes, then it is 80 minutes. Now they are asking you that what if there is only 5 pipes? So what will happen to the time? Now in exam, you don't know whether to use the formula for direct or inverse. So here you're going to analyze the situation. Now think about the question that if there are 6 pipes, okay, so more time will be required or less time will be required? Like if you have more pipes, then our work will be easier.
More time. More.
No, less time if there is more number of pipes. See, you have, for example, you have to fill a container. Okay. And to fill that container, you are using 10 pipes. Okay. So your container will be filled much easily as compared to the situation when you are using 5 pipes. Right? 5 pipes will
Okay.
it'll be higher time. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is inverse proportion. Like when you're using more number of pipes, then you'll have lesser number of time. So it is inverse proportion. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ramesh and Amar, what about you both?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
understand.
Ramesh, you understand or not?
I understand.
Okay, very good. So here, what kind of question is it? Direct or inverse?
Inverse.
It was
Inverse. Very good. So what is the formula? So let's suppose this value is y2. So what is the formula that we use?
x1 by y2 is equal to x2 by x1.
x1 y2 equals to x2 y1.
Very good. So this is the formula we use. So first of all, we say 6 by y2 is equals to 5 by 80. So I have 6 into 80 by 5 gives me y2. So I can say 16 into 6, 96 minutes is equals to y2. See, that means if I have lesser number of pipes, then I'll require more time. So I'm having more time, 96 minutes. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So example number next is like there are 100 students in a hostel and food provisions for them is for 20 days. How long will these provisions last if 25 more students join? Okay, now again we have two values. First of all, there is number of students and then there is number of days the provision lasts. Okay, so here I'll write number of students. Then I have number of days that provision lasts. Right now they are telling to us that initially there were 100 students in a school. Okay, and when there are 100 students, they are saying that the food that is present in the situation will last only for 20 days for 100 students. So I have 100 students, so my food lasts for 20 days. Now they are saying that you added 25 more students. So now what is the number of students?
125.
125.
125. Okay, now tell me one thing. Now I have to find out how many days the provision will last. Now tell me one thing. When there are more number of people, so food will be
Yes.
like consumed at a much
Less.
higher rate. Yeah.
Less.
So food number of days will be lesser. So this is direct proportion or inverse proportion?
Inverse.
Inverse.
Inverse. So this is y2. Please calculate x1, y1 and use the formula to calculate the answer. And give me a minute, I'll just plug in my device.
Ma'am, I'm done.
Okay, so let's discuss the answer. Tell me, Ramesh, how have you solved it?
I use the formula x1 by y2 is equal to x2 by y1. So 100 by y2 is equal to 125 by 20.
Okay.
I transpose 100, so 100 into 20 by 125.
No, you transposed y2 here and 120. Okay.
And I got the answer 16.
16. Let's calculate. Yeah, 16 is the correct answer. Good. Is everybody getting the same answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we come to the next question. So I have, if 15 workers can build a wall in 48 hours, how many workers are required to do the same work in 30 hours? Okay, please do this.
I'm done.
Let's wait for Asfan and Amar also.
Done.
Okay, so let's discuss. Amar, what about you? Are you not able to solve it?
Ma'am, I'm able to solve it. I'm solving.
Okay, Amar, you only tell me the answer.
Uh, number of workers is equals to 15 and number of time is equals to 48.
No, first of all, you
Mm.
make a table. Number of workers you're taking as X. Yeah, so first of all, X1 is 15 and number of hours is you're taking as Y, 48. Next,
Number of workers x2 and number of hours 30.
30. Very good. So what is the formula? What is the formula?
X1 by y2
Okay,
is equals to x2 by y1.
very good. Now what do you put in place of X1
15.
for Y2?
48.
No, for Y2. This is Y. See, this is X1. This is
30,
Y1.
30, 30.
30 is equals to X2 you don't know and Y1 is
Y1 is 48.
very good. Now what you do? You
Cross
transpose this
multiply.
48. So it becomes like this. You have X2. You have you have 24 hours as X2.
And 24
24
worker.
workers.
Workers, I'm sorry. Understood the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we come to the exercise. Okay, before exercise, we also have some try these. Okay, you have to observe the following tables and find if X and Y are directly proportional or not. I'll do the first question. Okay, please pay attention. So to find if X and Y are proportional or not, what do? We check for X1 upon Y1 is equal to X2 upon Y2. Like this, we have to check. This question we did. 1 minute. Okay, we are on inverse proportions. Yeah, so now you have to find out that which of the following are in inverse proportion. Okay, do you see the try this table?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please start doing it.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Uh,
Yes.
the formula would be x1 by y2 is equal to x2 by y1 is equal to x3 by y4 is equal to x4 by y3.
No, no. See, first what you do, uh, you consider these two. Okay, you check for them.
Okay.
First, just check for them and tell me. Have you done?
Yeah.
So tell me the answer, Rami.
The first one is not in inverse proportion.
Yeah, it is not in inverse proportion. Why? Okay, what was the formula for inverse proportion? It was x1 upon y2 is equals to x2 upon y1. Or you can also, I told you, you can also like cross multiply and it becomes x1 y1 is equals to x2 y2. Right? So what you can do is you can just multiply these numbers and check. Like on multiplying all the numbers, you should get the same answers. See, to check for direct proportions, on dividing x and y, you should get the same answer. You remember? Like this question right here, what we did was, in this question, I have to do like, this is x1, this is y1. So if I divide like 20 by 40, what do I get? I get 1 by 2. 17 by 34, I get 1 by 2. I get 1 by 2. Again, I get 1 by 2. 1 by 2. Here also 1 by 2. Here also 1 by 2. So if we have to check for direct proportions, we divide the quantities, right? Because that is how the formula works. The formula is x1 upon y1 is equals to x2 upon y2, right? So you are dividing x1 upon y1, x1 upon y1, you are dividing and checking, right? But now for inverse proportion, what was the formula? The formula was x1 upon y2. So what I did, I just cross multiply this formula to make a new formula, which is x1 y1 is equals to x2 y2. So over here, you're going to multiply. So 5 into 50 into 5 is 250. 40 into 6 is 240. 30 into 7 is 210. 20 into 8 is 160. So all these values are not equal, thus it is not in direct proportion, inverse proportion. Okay? Yeah, now about this one. So you multiply again. Multiply all the quantities.
It's
100 into
inverse.
6 is 6,000. 200 into 30 is again 6,000. Again 6,000. Again 6,000. On multiplying x1 and y1. Thus, it is an inverse proportion. For third one, check for third one, all of you.
I heard of
Yes.
400 into 5 is 2000, right?
400 into, oh yeah, it's 15.
Okay.
It's 15.
Ma'am, third one is also an inverse proportion.
Okay, so 90 into 10 is 900. 60 into 15,
900.
900. 900 again. No, but it's 750 here. It's 600 here. It's 175 here. No, it's not in inverse proportion. You need to check for all of them, Aswan. Don't go for shortcuts. You just check for 3 and told me the answer. Check for all. Understood? Okay. So we practiced the examples. Now we come to the exercise. Please start doing them. Do the first question firstly. Solve the first question.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what do we have to do in this question?
You have to check which of the following are in inverse proportion. Okay, like the first one is the number of workers on a job and the time to complete the job. Now, basically, as one, Amar, what we have is, okay, tell me, if you have lesser number of workers on a job. So the time required to complete the job will be more. Like, for example, I have a particular job for you all. Okay, and I ask first of all you to do that work. So for example, you are taking 10 days to do the work. Now what do? I also add Ramesh to the work. Okay, now the time may reduce to 7 days. Like, you both may able to do it fast. Now I also ask Aswan to help me. So now what will happen? The work time is reduced to 5 days. So what happens? Like, if you increase the number of workers, the number of time decreases, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So is this inverse proportion or not?
Inverse.
Inverse proportion.
Inverse. Okay, what about the second one? The time taken for a journey and the distance traveled in a uniform speed.
No.
Direct
No, ma'am.
proportion.
Direct proportion.
Yeah, so as distance increases, time also increases. So no, it's direct. Area of cultivated land and the crop harvested.
No.
Inverse.
Why inverse?
Inverse.
Now it's direct.
It's direct. Why inverse? See, the area that you cultivate on a land, for example, you are cultivating this much amount of land, and here you're cultivating a smaller amount, piece of land. So the bigger piece of land is going to harvest a much larger yield, while the smaller piece of land is going to harvest a much smaller yield, right? So it's direct proportion. More is the area of the land, more is the yield, right? Now the time. So this is yes, this is no, this is no. Time taken for a fixed journey and the speed of a vehicle.
Inverse.
See, if the speed is like higher, then the time will reduce. So it's inverse, yes.
Inverse.
Population of a country and the area of land per person.
Inverse.
Why?
Inverse.
Explain.
Ma'am, so in the population of country, if there are lesser people, the area of land per person will be increased, while if
Yeah,
there are more people, area per land will decrease.
very good, Ramesh. So basically, for example, you have a city with 100 people in it. And so per person is going to get like much higher amount of space to live. But for example, the same city is populated with 1000 people. So per person, the space decreases. All the people have to be like very much clustered together. So yes, it is also inverse. Then please come to the second question. All of you were able to understand the first question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the second question says that there is a television game show and the prize money is for rupees 1 lakh, right? It is to be divided equally amongst the winners. Complete the following table and find whether the prize money given to an individual winner is direct or inversely proportional to the number of winners. Okay, so for example, if number of winners is 1, so prize given for each winner is 1 lakh. Number of winners is 2. So price for each winner is 50,000. Number of winners is 4. So price for each winner will be
25,000.
25,000 each. Yeah, so what do you have to check? Is it direct or inverse?
Inverse.
Inverse, ma'am.
Yeah, so if number of winners are increasing, my prize money is decreasing. So it's inverse. Very easy. Alright, come to the third one. Rehman is making a wheel using spokes. He wants to fix equal spokes in such a way that the angles between any pair of consecutive spokes is equal. Help him by completing the following table. So first of all, like, okay, what is the total angle around a single point? What is the total angle? For example, this is a point. So what is the total angle?
360.
360.
360. Very good. Very good, Aman. So the entire angle is 360. The whole angle is 360 degree, right? Okay. But now what are they saying? That like there is a person named Rahman. So he is making a wheel using spokes and he has to like divide it into equal parts and everything. So now they're saying like there are number of spokes. For example, there are 4 spokes. So for 4 spokes, the angles will be 90-degree each. Because you need to like arrange the spokes in an like equal angle. Right? The distance should be equal. So if there are 4 spokes, so what you are doing? You basically divide 360-degree by the number of spokes. So if number of spokes are 4, 360 by 4 is 90. If number of spokes are 3, You do 360 by 6, you get 60. Number of spokes are 8. You do 360 by 8. Then you do
4,
360 by
40,
10. Yeah. Tell me all the answers. For 8, what do you get?
40,
Very good. 40 degree. For 10, what do you get?
36,
36.
6.
For 12, what do you get?
30.
30. Okay. So understood this thing? Now tell me, is this direct or inverse? Okay, there are further questions. Are the number of spokes and the angles inverse or direct? Tell me.
Inverse.
Inverse proportion. See, because as number is increasing, my angle is decreasing. So it is inverse. Okay. Calculate the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes on a wheel within 15 spokes. Tell me, for 15 spokes, what is the angle? How do you calculate?
360 by 15.
360 by 15.
Now, what's the answer for 360 by 15?
24.
Okay. 24 degree. Then how many spokes would be needed if the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes is 40 degree? Okay, now they're asking you the number of spokes if angle is given to you.
8.
8. Very good. So you remember the formula that angle between two spokes is equal to 360 divided by, yeah.
I didn't understand the second part, second bit.
See, the formula is that angle between two spokes is calculated by this formula 360 by number of spokes. So you do 360. What is the number of spokes? You do 360 by 15. So 15 into 2 is 30. Then 6 carried. 15 into 4 is 60. So you get 24 degree.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope the question is clear. And similarly, the third one, Amma, do you understand the third one as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Now we come to the fourth question. It says if a box of sweets is divided amongst 24 children, they will get 5 sweets each. How many would get if the number of children is reduced by 4? Okay. The fourth question, fifth question. How many questions we have? 11. Okay, do the fourth and fifth question now. All of you. And it is important that you make proper statements. Okay, do not rush. There's a lot of time in your exam. Please learn to make proper statements in the class itself.
Done. No, ma'am. I did the fourth question only.
Ramesh, do the fifth as well.
Okay, ma'am. I'm done.
Okay, what about others?
Ma'am, the fourth one I not do, but the fifth one I did.
Why you're not understanding fourth one, or you want time to
No,
do it?
no, I didn't understand.
Okay, Aspan, you
I'm in the 5th.
please do it quickly, then we'll discuss together.
None.
Okay. So tell me the solution. First of all, for the fourth question, Ramesh, tell me.
Okay. So X is the amount of children, and Y is the amount of sweets they get each. So
It's not
X1 by
amount of children, never. It's not amount, it's number of children. Okay?
number of children and the amount of sweets they get each.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
so X1 by Y2 is equal to X2 by Y1. So 20 by
okay. So first
Y2
of
is
all, yeah. So in a box of sweets is divided amongst 24 children. They'll get 5 sweets each. So first of all, number of children is
24.
X. Number of amount of sweets is Y. Now we use the formula X1 upon Y2 is equals to X2 upon Y1. Yeah. Now what is X1?
X1 is 20.
24.
Oh, 24.
Yeah. What is Y2?
Y2 is Y, just Y2. You don't know the amount.
Y2 is unknown. What is X2?
20.
What is Y1?
5.
5.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So, Amar, you were not able to understand. Please listen now. In this question, there are two quantities. One of them is number of children. The other one is amount of sweets. Okay. So, I considered number of children to be X and amount of sweets to be Y. Now, since it is an inverse proportion, so I use this formula. Now, you see X1 is 24. Why? Because it is given if there are 24 children, each student get 5 sweets. Now they are saying how many sweets will each get if the number of the children is reduced by 4. So when number of children is reduced by 4, so it becomes 20. So 24 by Y2 is goes to 20 by 5, right? Now it becomes
Yes.
5 into 4 is 20. So now Y2 becomes 24 by 4. It becomes
6.
6. So 6 weeks. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you? Amar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Understood.
So the fifth question we have, a farmer has enough food. Yeah, fifth. Okay, Aswan, tell me.
Okay, ma'am. So number of animals considered as X,
Okay.
and the number of days can be considered as Y.
Okay.
So the formula for inverse proportion is X1 by Y2 is equals to X2 by Y1. So
Okay.
X1 is 20 and Y2 we had to find it equals to 30 by 6. So 20 into 6 by 30 is equals to 4 days.
Okay. Ramesh and Amar, are you getting the same answer
That was 5, right?
for fifth question?
For the fifth one, the answer was 5.
Tell me, Aswan, what is your answer?
4, ma'am.
4. Ramesh is getting 5. Amar, you?
And I mean, it is 4. I made a mistake.
Your answer is 4 only. Okay. Amar, what is your answer?
Ma'am, my answer is 5.
Why 5? Let's check. First of all, there is a farmer has enough food to feed 20 animals. So number of animals I consider X1. His cattle for 6 days, Y1. How long the food will last if there were 10 more animals. So 10 more animals means X2 is 30, 10 more animals. Okay. Y2 you don't know. So answer comes out to be 20 into Y2 is equals to 30 into 6. Y2 is 30 into 6 by 20. By 2 is 9.
Ma'am,
No,
it's
wait.
no, ma'am, it's
Yeah, I'm
20 into
sorry.
6.
I made a mistake. You have, okay. So, now Y2 comes out to be 4. It's 4, not 5. Amar, why do you get 5 as your answer? Please.
Ma'am, I made a mistake in 92 is equals to 30.
No problem. Please clear it and tell me any doubts in the 5th question.
Um,
No,
Okay, so please now do 6th and 7th question, all of you.
Ma'am,
I'm done.
Everybody else, Asfan and Amar,
ma'am, I finished, but I don't know if my 7th answer is correct.
no problem. That we will discuss. Amar, you?
ma'am, I'm doing the 7th one. I'm about to finish.
We'll just give you 1 minute. Please just quickly do it. Find your answer, then we'll discuss.
Finish, ma'am.
Okay, so let's discuss. The 6th question, first of all, says a contractor estimates 3 persons could rewire Jasminder's house in 4 days. So number of people you take X. So X1, this is Y1. If he uses 4 persons instead of 3, now 4 persons means X2. How long should they take to complete the job? So Amar, tell me this answer.
Ma'am, we'll use the formula x1 by y2 is equals to x2 by y1.
Okay. So it is 3
3
by
by
y2 is equal to 4 by
4.
4 only. Okay. So what is y2 now?
y2 is equals to 3 into 4.
3 into 4 by 4. So comes out to be 3.
Yes.
3 days.
Yes.
Everybody getting 3 days as the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what about the seventh one? Seventh question says a batch of bottles were packed in 25 boxes with 12 boxes and 12 bottles in each box. If the same batch is packed using 20 bottles in each box, how many boxes would be filled? So if like 25 boxes you get x1. Like number of boxes you can consider x and bottles in each box you consider y. So 12 bottles becomes y1 and this becomes x2. This becomes y2.
20 bottles is y2, right?
Yeah, y2. 20 bottles is y2. This is x. Okay. So now you get 25 by 20 is equal to x2 by 12. Right, you can solve it. X2 is 15. Aswan, do you get 15? You confused in this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So is the question clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you all
Yes, ma'am.
noted proper statements?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll do this one last question, question number 8. Please do question number 8. Shall we discuss?
Done.
Yes, ma'am.
First one has done. Okay, please listen, everybody. First of all, it's given a factory requires 42 machines to produce a given number of articles in 63 days. So now I consider number of machines as x and articles as y. Okay, so I get x1, y1. How many machines would be required to produce the same number of articles in 54 days? So now what do I have? I have the same number of articles, but the number of days is 54. So y2 is 54 and x1 I don't know. X2 I don't know. So what do? I use the formula x1 upon y2 is equals to x2 upon y1. Okay. So x1 is 42 by 54 is equals to x2 by 63. Right. So I get,
Ma'am, 7 by 9.
no, I get 49. x2 I get 49.
Yes, sir.
Right? So I need 49 machines. Clear to everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.